Hey guys, and welcome back to today's video. And in today's video, I am going to be reacting to some photos and memes that I've seen online, all to do with being neurodivergent. Now, in this video, I'm going to be looking specifically at ones to do with being autistic and also having ADHD, because for a long time now, I've sort of suspected that I might have ADHD. Now, I'm not saying that I have, I'm just saying that I can relate to a lot of stuff that ADHD people relate to. So I'm going to be looking at some different memes to do with both of those things. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to receive notifications every time I upload a new video. And without further ado, let's get on with the first one. So this one is so funny. It's called How to Do a Task. Step 1, think about the task. Step 2, think vividly about doing the task. Step 3, eat snacks while thinking about the task. Step 4, do every task that isn't the task. Step 5, who even knows? Step 6, oh man, you just didn't do the task. Step 7, promise yourself that tomorrow you'll do the task. For real this time, you mean it. This is just so funny to me because this is my life pretty much all the time. Now, I've spoken a bit on my channel before about executive functioning. Now, in terms of being autistic, executive functioning is basically the ability to think, to plan, to organise, to carry out tasks, and things like that. So executive functioning is something that I often really struggle with as an autistic person. And so a lot of the time I will have a plan in my head, like, oh yeah, I want to get this done and I want to do that and I'm going to be very productive this afternoon. And then I'll get home, be really tired, sit down, and 3 hours later I'll have sat down and not done anything. And I'll think, oh yeah, I'll just do it in a minute, and then I might get distracted, or I just have run out of spoons and run out of energy to actually do the task, and then nothing gets done, which is a bit of a vicious cycle really when you are autistic. So I'm constantly dealing with that, so I can really relate to this meme. Let me know in the comments if you relate to any of these memes as well. But yeah, that's quite a bit of reality for me, is thinking about doing the tasks and really wanting to, and then not getting them done. And this is the thing, is a lot of autistic or ADHD people often get labelled as being lazy or not trying hard enough, and I want to debunk that, because it's not that I don't want to do these things. I really do want to do these things. It's just sometimes I feel completely unable to do these things. And it's very frustrating, actually, coming home and having all these things you want to get done and not being able to do them. So yeah, it's not being lazy. It's called executive functioning. So let's look at the next meme. So this one says, why do you need a label? Because there is a comfort in knowing you are a normal zebra, not a strange horse. Because you can't find community with other zebras if you don't know you belong. And because it is impossible for a zebra to be happy or healthy, spending its life feeling like a failed horse. Now, this one is so important to me. I've had people come up to me before saying, oh yeah, but like, you don't need to keep saying that you're autistic, or it doesn't define you. Like, it's not everything is about you being autistic and stuff. Like, you don't need to make it known and things. Like, you don't need a label to know that you are something. And I completely disagree, where I can understand for some people how just knowing that they are something is enough without a diagnosis. That's completely fine. Like, self-diagnosis is fine and is valid in my eyes. For me, having a diagnosis gave me the reassurance that actually, like, there was a reason why I am the way I am. And all of my childhood growing up feeling like, I wasn't good enough, or people were doing better than me, and comparing myself to other people, or just feeling like I failed in a lot of things, or I wasn't trying hard enough. It having a diagnosis actually was an answer to all of those things. It was saying, no, you weren't lazy, you weren't being rude, or you weren't failing at things. It's just that your brain is wired a bit differently, and you need more time with some things than other people. And it was really reassuring to know that, like, there was an answer as to why I felt the way I did, and to know that there are other people that feel the same way as me, and that we can connect through that thing is such a special thing. Just to know that, like, I can say things and people can relate to me, like people watching my videos. I get comments all the time saying, oh, I'm so glad that, like, you made this video because I can completely relate to it. And it makes me feel less alone that, oh, so, like, I'm not the only one going through these things. And that is really, really cool to me. I just think without a diagnosis, I would not be able to relax, because I just wouldn't know, and I'd be thinking about it the whole time. Am I not? Once I had an answer, I was like, well, that's that. It doesn't really change a lot because, well, I'm still me. It just explains a lot of things that really helped me to be able to be myself more. So let's look at the next meme. So it says, ADHD is being able to clean someone else's house when they need help, but staring at your own room for 15 hours trying to figure out how to get the executive functioning to clean. I love this one. It's so true. I always used to say growing up, I love doing washing up at other people's houses, but as soon as I come home, I don't really want to do mine. And I don't know what it is, but doing stuff for other people seems so easy in comparison to doing it to yourself. Yeah, it's so strange. Like, I will happily go to my friend's house and help her organise her bedroom and have a clear out, but then if it's a day at home and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to get on with stuff at home, I just can't seem to be able to do it, and it doesn't make sense. I've never really understood that, but it is kind of funny how the brain works, and how things a lot of the time make no sense whatsoever. Okay, the next one. So this one is a picture of a dog's hand and a picture of a human's hand, and it says dogs on the left, people diagnosed with autism on the right, and having loud sounds hurt our ears in the middle. It's sort of like a Venn diagram, but with a paw and a hand, which I think is quite a good representation, actually. Now, a lot of autistic people struggle with sensory difficulties, and not every person does, and obviously everyone struggles with different aspects of sensory difficulties than others. For me, one thing I really struggle with is loud noises, loud sharp noises like fireworks going off, a car backfiring, balloons popping, feedback from when a microphone gets too loud and things like that. I can't deal with them. And it's the same for dogs. They can't handle loud noises, which is why they struggle a lot on fireworks night. People often play a lot of classical music for dogs. I should try that for myself. I've never tried it. But quite a lot of the time I'll walk around with headphones on or ear defenders just to block out all the loud noise, because it's something I really struggle with. And it's not only necessarily that it can really be painful when I hear a loud noise, but it also just tires me out. Constantly being in a world that is too loud a lot of the time can be exhausting. And so just being in what's the word? Like being in like a loud environment can just be exhausting. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You understand what I'm trying to say, hopefully. Let's go look at the next one. So this one is telling neurotypicals I'm autistic. So when I tell people I'm autistic, they often say, oh, I don't think you are, or everyone's a bit autistic, or oh, but you made eye contact with me the other day. But then telling autistic people that I'm autistic is quite funny, because I'll say I'm autistic and they'll go, yeah, we know. It's a bit obvious. And sometimes I don't even tell people that I'm autistic and they can just work it out. I was at a party recently, earlier in the year, and someone just said, I've got an autistic radar where they can just tell when someone is autistic. And she knew from the start. I mean, to be fair, having a pair of ear defenders on me was probably a giveaway. But it's just so funny that with autistic people, we tend to spot it in each other. And neurotypical people don't always tend to see that, like, we are autistic. Maybe because we're good at masking. Maybe because their idea of what autism is completely different from what autism actually is. Who knows? But it is just funny that, like, I don't know, we just have a connection, autism to autism. Okay, the last one. This is a funny one. I love ducks, so I quite like this meme. One of the ducks is saying, is it my imagination or is your kid on the verge of death? There's a duck on the floor, like, struggling to breathe. And the other duck says, actually, she just noticed her shirt has a scratchy tag in it, so yes. Now, I think this is so funny. I think a lot more when I was younger, I used to struggle with tags in my clothes and seams in socks. Maybe not so much anymore, but I still find some materials to be irritating, or like, I have a really weird thing where when I touch velvet, it makes me feel sick. I don't know why. It's weird. But when I was younger, especially in school, well, and even now, I hated wearing tights. Socks I didn't have so much of a problem with, but tights, I didn't like the seam that is like at the head of the tight, where it's like they've obviously sewn it together to make the tight. That always used to irritate my feet, so wherever I could, I would try and wear socks because they were less irritating. But I used to hate wearing tights, and I'd try and not do it as much as I could, but it didn't really happen because you sort of have to wear tights at school a lot of the time to keep warm, and I absolutely used to hate it. And now I've just given up wearing tights. Like, there's been a couple times where I've been like, oh, only really tights would look good with this outfit, and I've pushed through, and then afterwards I was like, why did I do that? I spent the whole evening just thinking about the tights that I'm wearing and how they're irritating my feet, rather than enjoying the evening. Whereas if I'd just worn something else, I would have been much more relaxed and able to actually focus on, like, having fun and being in the moment. So I find this one funny because I definitely could relate to it at some points. But I wonder if you related to any of these memes as well. Let me know in the comments down below. And let me know what other things you'd like me to talk about in future videos. But it was really fun looking at these memes. If you'd like a part 2, then give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications every time I upload a new video. And I will see you next time.